There it is. Terrific. So now at 5:02, we'll call the Cook County Passion Pit Old Shore Beach Area Advisory Committee to order. And I'd like to thank all of you for attending. The first thing that we want to do is adopt the agenda. First, I should ask, are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
No, I don't think so. Not for me.
All right, hearing and seeing none. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make that motion to approve the agenda as provided.
Thank you, Tim. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tyson. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to review our minutes from the Monday, June 28th meeting. It's hard to imagine it's been a whole month since we've been together. Any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing or seeing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Tyson. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second
Maria,
it.
I'll motion to approve.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Maria. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. All right. I want to thank you, Mr. Nelson, for sharing with us the Star Tribune article from July 15th, just a couple of weeks ago. It was nice to see that we're getting some positive press and there's a lot of interest in the area. So I hope everybody has had a chance to review that. Next on our agenda, we have our public comment period. And are there any individuals that would like to share their comments or reflections at this time? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to updates. So the first update is for the Cook County Historical Society. And although Myron isn't here, I can share with you that the Cook County Historical Society did not meet this month. Very busy time and a lot of people on vacation and gone away. So they did not have an opportunity to meet. So there is no report. City of Grand Marais, Kelly could not be here this evening, but the trash can did get delivered. And we have a wonderful photograph we can share of that trash can for those of you that haven't been down to not only look at the trash can, but to check out its contents. We are aware it's been emptied at least once, and it looks like 3 of us are on a pretty regular basis checking the canister and seeing what's in there. But it's good.
I didn't look inside. I just smelled.
All right, well, I looked inside. I didn't go in. I didn't do any diving, but I did glance in and saw a couple of items. Oh, and I see Stacy has joined us. Welcome, Stacy.
Hi, thanks. We were having internet issues. Sorry, I'm late.
Not a problem. There's our photograph of the trash can. Now, when I was down there today, the little hinge where you put your trash in had been turned to the side. So it had a little different look, but again, it appears to be used regularly. And I walked the area, didn't find any trash. For the rest of you that have been down there, has there been anything you'd like to report, anything you've seen?
I've seen very little trash. I did encounter one person walking on my part of the beach.
Okay.
And this is something that occurred last summer as well, which is that at least one of the property owners along the beach to the west is renting out their place as a VRBO. I don't know if they are actively telling their guests that they have access to the beach, but I do know they're not telling them which parts are and are not public. And the way I deal with all of these is, I go up to people, I say, are you a neighbor? And if they say yes, I get to know them. And if they say no, I say, well, this part of the beach isn't public. And most of the time, 100% of the time, people have said, oh, I didn't realize that. So I don't know whether, personally, I don't think it's enough of a problem to get worked up over, but I do think, just there's the larger issue in the county of vacation rentals. And I don't want to get bureaucratic about it, but informing people who are doing this that they should make clear what lands come with the rental and which are off limits.
I appreciate you sharing that with us all, Margaret, and that is something I had not thought about. And so that's really good food for thought, and just keep us informed of what you do see. And as we have these monthly meetings, we'll certainly check in to see if things in that area improve and if we can communicate with perhaps the owner of that particular property.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good. Director Nelson?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Just anecdotally, I'm just going to throw this out there that next year is the last year of our 3-year initial period with the vacation rental ordinance and licensing program. So we're going to be doing a full review probably mid to later summer, and we'll be able to take in all of these comments and concerns and be able to redevelop the ordinance and whatever requirements we have. So it's good to get this down and concerns expressed so that we can incorporate those when we do our review next year.
Excellent. Well, that's really helpful to know. So it appears we, have the trash can. It is being used. Seems people have been, for the most part, pretty respectful of the area. I do know that the pet waste receptacle has not arrived yet. It has been ordered. Director Nelson, do you want to give any additional information regarding that?
Basically, you kind of said what it is. It was the city went and volunteered to go ahead and provide us with the waste receptacle and with the pet waste station, and we did get the waste receptacle now, obviously. But yes, that is correct. We do know that the pet waste station has been ordered, and we're just waiting to hear back from the city as to when we can get it from them.
All right. Well, if we don't see it by our meeting next month, we'll make sure to check in with Council Swearingen and see where we're at with that. Regarding Cook County Board of Commissioners, one of the things I had told my fellow commissioners and committed to was making sure I would follow up on some of the activity that had been reported to law enforcement. You'll recall when we met earlier in the spring, we had a total of 8 calls to law enforcement last summer. 2 were disturbances, 2 were public assists, 1 was suspicious activity, 1 threat, 1 trespass, and 1 assault. I did follow up with Sheriff Eliason to see where we're at this year to compare. And as opposed to 8 last year, we've only had 2 calls to the law enforcement center to date. 1 on June 25th, and it was where a bag was left on the shore and it was recovery of property. And then on July 20th, there was a report of trespass. So we have 2 incidents this year compared to 8 last year. So certainly we hope things, we don't add to that list, and we hope that the numbers of concerns that are reported are kept at a very minimum or none at all. So it appears our short-term measures and implementation of those is going well. We still obviously are kind of in a waiting game with hearing back from MnDOT, but all our letters are in. And I did want to check, Maria, with you. You were going to follow up with John and Bobby to see if they would like us to somehow talk to Lieutenant Governor Flanagan about gaining some additional support. Did you have an opportunity to talk with them and find anything out?
Yeah, talked to John and to Bobby, and they said that they've already talked to Peggy Flanagan. So all in all, now it is all a wait and see game, because it looks like it will be going forward, but it just is going to take some time. So they have talked to her.
All right, great. Well, thank you. And we appreciate you following up on that, because certainly we would lend our support and contact her if need be. But I'm glad they have spoken to her, and we'll hope we hear back sooner rather than later. Any other items or things you think we should consider as far as next steps?
Not that I'm thinking, nothing that I could think of, just waiting on MDE and the state. I'm not MDE, I'm sorry. No, just waiting from MDOT. I guess that's who takes care of that, is MDOT.
All right. Well, hope to hear from MnDOT soon. And Margaret, what are your thoughts?
Well, these are not my thoughts, but I do have a set of questions from one of the property owners who would like me to see if I could get some answers with regard to these questions.
Surely.
I think many of them are probably not easily answerable, but to the extent we can provide some further information that might be helpful. The first one is, what is the timeline for the conveyance?
And I know that we have been told 12 to 24 months.
Okay. Okay. The next question is, who is the ultimate decision maker, or has the decision already been reached?
I'm not aware of any decision that's been made, and that decision is made by MnDOT.
Mm-hmm. I'm just taking down your answers. So.
Yep, sure thing. I'm glad we have some answers.
Yeah, the decision will be made by. Okay. I think a lot of these yes and no ones, the answer is probably, what hours of operation will be established? No, wait. What covenants would be established, or is the band free to build a casino, hotel, or other real estate establishment, retail establishment next to my home?
So I am not aware of a response to that, other than Grand Portage has indicated they want to keep things very minimal, and that they want it to be a public space where people can enjoy the lake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's enough land to build any type of casino down there.
Mm-hmm.
Not
And I don't believe there's an interest in doing that.
No. As far as I know, they want to keep it as the way it is in its natural state and not to do any type of commercial development on there that I am aware of, and nor have they spoken about doing that either. He just wants it to be able to, as he stated before, when he was here, Bobby said he just wanted it to be a place where people can go and enjoy the view of Lake Superior, because there's not that many public places where people can go and enjoy without having to pay a fee or anything like that.
Okay. Okay. What hours of operation will be established?
No idea.
I'm thinking maybe it would be in whatever accordance that the county has now for state parks. Isn't there, there's not allowed any overnight camping or anything like that. I don't think that's, a doable position that they want to be in.
I think these questions would, need to be answered by Grand Portage if they are the ones who the property is conveyed to. We can't really answer those questions.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better way to put it. But just to say, can't answer that right now. Will alcohol consumption be permitted on the property?
Again, that's not something we can answer because
Right.
we don't know who the property will be conveyed to. That would
Right.
be their decision.
You're right. Will ATVs be allowed on the property or the beach and beach?
Same answer.
Yep. How will unattended beach fires be addressed? Same answer, right?
Yes.
Yep.
What bathroom facilities will be installed?
Same response.
Yep. How will trash collection and removal, including pet waste, be handled?
Not certain at this time.
Yep.
Can we speak for the short term and just say that the city is handling that? Or that there's,
The city and the county are jointly
yeah,
working on that
and
at
that's
this
for short
time.
term. It might be, if that person who's asking these questions, it might be, is it fair? Would it be okay if Margaret was able to forward that Star Tribune article to that person? Because that helped, I think, a little bit, just add some clarity to what the
That
process
person
is.
said, I read the Star Tribune article
Okay.
and have some questions in regard to the conveyance.
Okay.
I think this is the wrong group of people to be asking these questions of.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
use their time in a more productive manner.
Yeah, I just feel obligated to maintain decent relationships with my neighbor, if you don't mind.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
How will the band contribute to maintenance of the shared cart path? Can't answer that right now. Will the current date? No, I think I can just pretty much say, can't answer that right now. And who enforces the laws on the property? Particularly since the Grand Portage Band has canceled its contract with Cook County law enforcement?
So again, we can't really answer that till the property is conveyed.
Yep. What laws will apply? Oh, it's going to be a free-for-all. Anybody can do anything they want there. Sorry. And what party will be liable for damages in property values of neighboring residential properties due to the establishment of a tourist beach park in the middle of a residential area.
And again, we have no reason to believe that's going to occur, so we can't respond to that.
I have a question about the survey, if we can take a break from these for a second.
Surely.
We're done. We're done.
So the question is about what I would call the county encroachment onto the westerly private property owners. I was out there, I took a look at that northeast pin of the Quaife property, and I agree. I think that the county road is cutting over the corner of that parcel. My question is probably directed to Tim. Do you know if the county's been plowing or otherwise maintaining that little driveway?
Yes.
You're muted. You're muted. Tim, you're muted.
Okay, here I am. Yes, actually, I heard someone chime in. The county has plowed Old Shore Road, and as a part of that, they've swung in there. And I guess the direction you're going is by the feature of fact that we've applied those services onto that property, we may have some.
Statute says 6 years of public use and public maintenance, and it's deemed a public roadway to the width of actual use. So I was just curious. It's something that I'm sure that property owner will want to have worked out, but.
And a letter was sent to that property owner, just so everyone knows, with photographs of the flagging and the pins and the gravel, and saying that we did understand that there had been encroachment onto their property. So that letter was sent.
Well, my point is, whether we like it or not, by operation of Minnesota law, that driveway is probably a public road now. But that's it. My suggestion might be to get Wayne Henchy, county surveyor, back out there to just do a little bit of a perimeter delineation. That or let it be. It's just, if that's something that this committee wants to involve itself in, because it's on the county property component of this, it's worth looking at.
Thanks for pointing that out.
By the way, that statute's 160.05. And normally I'm on the other side of it, quite frustrated because my clients found that there's a road on their property that they don't want there. So it's kind of weird to be on this side.
Thank you much. All right. Any other next steps that we should be taking? I like the idea of that perimeter delineation. And anything else? Margaret, you're muted.
Are we still waiting for the sign? Is that coming also? Wasn't there going to be a sign about respecting?
Yeah, and I understand that they are very slow in coming. But that's the sign for the cartway.
Yeah.
The sign isn't for the cartway, is it?
There was a, go ahead, Mr. Nelson.
I was just going to say that there were a few signs that we were talking about, and the highway departments is the one that orders up those signs. And because if we're doing it official, and it does take a lot of time for them to get printed and sent out. So I'll check with Robbie and then send out an update as an email when I get the minutes sent out.
Okay.
So what sign are we waiting for?
It would be the ones that were approved when we went to the commissioners and got the recommendation. So I think there is more than one sign on there, but since that was into Robbie's hands, I didn't really pay that much attention to it, but I'll check with them and make sure that was that it's all that was approved.
Mm-hmm.
And the DR signs are in place, both facing the lake and also facing the parking lot. And I think you actually notice the sign facing the parking lot more now that the trash receptacle is there, draws your attention to it.
Mhm.
So. Any other questions, concerns, ideas? All right, well, if not, our next meeting is the 4th Monday of August, which is August 23rd at 5 o'clock. And we'll continue to meet by Zoom. One of the things that Director Nelson and I were talking about prior to the meeting is if we want these to continue to be available on YouTube for the community. Any thoughts that any of you have regarding that?
I don't have a problem with it if it's, if it'll help alleviate some people's concerns. I think that'd be a good idea. I will try to see if John and Bobby will be attending so they can give, at least give some insight so people can not be worried. So I think that would be good to try to get them in. I'll email them after we get off to let them know when the next meeting is, and they can check their schedules. At least one of them can, or if they could give me authority to speak in their presence, or if they're not here, speak for them. I'll make sure I'll ask that, or or read a public comment that they might have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that since most of the communications with MnDOT are going to go to probably the chairman, whether it would be appropriate to ask for an update on the status of their request, or just to let us know if they've heard anything or anything is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does seem like we're kind of in a wait and see mode.
I'm sure Bobby wouldn't have a problem with that, but it falls on the state, and they are notorious for taking their time. So as soon as they tell him, he will definitely let us know. And he is aware of all the meetings we have. I do give him an update verbally if they're there. If not, I usually send them out an email.
Would it be possible to ask the commissioner in MnDOT in Duluth to keep Ann Sullivan, to keep the chairperson in the loop, so as decisions are made, this committee would also be updated? I don't know if they can share that information, but that's kind of more, it would be helpful to this committee to have those updates, and then it doesn't fall on Bobby to have to provide that. So
that's an ask I can definitely do.
Okay. Administrator Yorkie, I saw you had your hand up.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was just going to add, given the level of public interest in this topic, as evidenced by the recent article in the Star Tribune, I think it would be advisable to continue to live stream these meetings and post them on the YouTube site.
Sounds good. And that also might be a way we can look at how many times it's been viewed to get a level of interest from the community and that type of thing. That's for sure.
Also an indicator of how many people in the community have insomnia.
No, those people watch the county board meetings late at night. Oh, golly. All right. Well, anything else for the good of the order this afternoon? Well, if not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Tim. Is there a second to his motion? Thank you, Tyson. And Stacy, it's a tie. All right. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we did it in a half hour. So we will see you a month from today on Monday, August 23rd at 5 p.m. And keep in touch. Keep going out to the Old Shore Beach Road and checking out that waste receptacle. And we'll hope that things stay quiet there. Please, Tim and Margaret, if there's anything that you do hear, any concerns you have, please let us know. Don't wait till the next meeting.
Okay.
Tim, did you have some items you wanted to share with our group before we sign off? You had talked about some communication from your sisters, I believe.
Well,
And you're
I've had, I'm sorry, I shared that before we started. And, but basically, I've had two sisters up there since our last meeting, and actually probably a brother too. And they've been basically said it's been very quiet. They've noticed people that are up the shore and come down and just relax. They've seen some couples down there. It's been a very positive. It's the beach is being currently used for what I believe Grand Portage would love to see it used for a place to sit down and relax and rest and just appreciate, you know, the nature of the lake. So it's been minimally used and used appropriately. I'll put it that way.
well, on that positive note, we'll conclude our meeting, and thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All
And
right,
thank you for
everybody
sharing.
take care.
All right.
Okay.